ESP sharing session. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this event, let us pray in accordance with trust respectively. May God make this rewarding event for all of us, and the event will run smoothly and conducive. Pray start. Pray finish. Okay, so before we enter the core of the show, I will read out the agenda we have this morning. So the agenda will be, the first one is the opening, and the second one is the presentation and discussion session that will be led by the moderator. And then the next one is photo session, and the last one is closing. We will have no welcome remark from the head of this community. So we just move to the presentation, yeah, because we have 3 presentations today, and I'm sure that we will need more time to have the discussion. Yeah, so it will be better if we can start now. So after the opening, let's move to the next agenda. This is presentation and discussion session with Mr. Dwi Yulianto Nugroho, MED, as the moderator. Yeah, so after this, Mr. Dwi, yeah, time is yours, please.
All right, thank you, Ibu Yasinta. Good morning, Bapak Ibu. It's very glad to meet you all in this room, and I'm so sorry I have to wait for the motorcycle to pass by. All right, okay. Once again, thank you, Ibu Yasinta, for the time, and welcome, Bapak Ibu, to this session. Finally, the third session has arrived, and we are now going to listen to 3 wonderful presenters. All of them are female, and I am the only male in this occasion, in this meeting anyway. I mean, the one who got a job as the speakers or the moderator. Well, first of all, I would like to introduce the presenter, the first presenter first. Let me share my screen. So our first presenter is Ibu Yuliana Ningsih, Sarjana Sastra M.Hum. She is currently teaching in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. And you get the profile in here. She has pursued bachelor degree in Sastra Inggris in English Literature from Universitas Islam Sumatera Utara, and she got the magister degree or master degree in Linguistics Terapan or Applied Linguistics in English Applied Linguistics from Universitas Negeri Medan. And she has got quite extensive experience in teaching English, and as what I have said, she is currently now teaching in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut for as the English lecturer in the D3 program. She has also written and also published various scientific journal articles. And without any further ado, let me now first greet Ibu Yuliana. Ibu Yuliana, are you ready?
Yes,
okay.
Of course, I'm ready.
All right, good. Now, Ibu Yuliana, the screen is yours. You may start.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dwi. I'll try to share my topic today. Is it visible ya, Bapak Ibu?
Yes, Bu. Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Wait.
But if it is possible, Ibu, you can make it bigger anyway. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, now it is clearer.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, Pak Dwi, as moderator. Good morning, Bapak Ibu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It is a precious chance for me to share my best practice in my learning experience. And in the third sharing session, best practice by ESP teacher community, I would like to share it in my title, Trace to Project-Based Learning in ESP. And for your information, Bapak Ibu, Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut or Politala located in Plehari, South Kalimantan. It is about 1 hour from Banjarmasin and it is established from 2009. And there are 4 study programs. There are information technology, automotive technology, agro-industry, and also accounting. And the annual study program also. Bridge and road construction engineering technology and network computer engineering technology. And it is the first year for new students in both of study program. And I have a learning experience in IT, information technology, automotive technology, agro-industry, and accounting. And now I would like to share maybe a such topic based on my experience in ESP learning. And the first, I'll begin from the problem. Using technology is a recent trend in higher education institution. And at present, many learning media have been used by teachers to simplify the learning process. And many teachers are lulled about the technological advances used in education. Meanwhile, in the surrounding environment, there are so many objects that are not used that can be used. And as we know that, getting students to speak is not simple, and there is no magic trick to make it the activity works. And the lack of students speaking interest and speaking skills are also the problem from the topic or from my research. And based on book Creativity in Language Teaching, innovative teaching occurs not because the approaches are new, but teachers have the courage and persistence to think creatively and to initiate or extend teaching strategies that are outside the box in their context. So I'll try to utilize ways or trace as learning media to overcome the problem. In different study programs, I use ways or trace of IT, automotive, agro-industry, and accounting, such as maybe dried leaves, keyboard, paper journal, or machine spare parts as a media for learning. And the method is action research and need to do observation, fill notes, also do interview and do tests. And the characteristic for the activity, the project, the students learn activities begin with giving a project assignment, and the projects that are presented are still related to the real life of the students. It is not far from their field. They're measuring their department, and then they organize discussion around the project, and then also they are given maximum responsibility in carrying out the learning process directly. And then also students are divided into small groups, collaboration to demonstrate the performance they have learned. Firstly, the projects were made according to their respective design based on trace from the surrounding. And from the last, from the students' creativity, it is used as a learning media. The students then explain what they have made with basic materials according to waste or trash around their study program. The purpose of this learning media is that students' learning activities are more interesting, interactive, and able to improve the quality of students' learning outcomes and be able to show positive maybe students' attitude towards the materials and learning process, and also be able to increase students' learning motivation. While the benefits of making this learning media are that the learning material is clearer so that students can understand it. Students also will find it easier to master the material, and students will learn more because the media used is interesting with materials that are not far from their field, their majoring, yeah. Okay, something like this. The product of or the product from my students project. This is product of IT. Trays of keyboard and CD are made into wall hangings in the form of clock, and so many products made from trays of IT. And for the next, this is from product from accounting. Journal paper. Journal paper made in the trash, yeah. Journal paper made in the form of dove and shaped into calligraphy with decorative calculators. And then this is for agro industry. The dried banana leaves are made into calligraphy and decorated to make attractive wall decorations. And this is from automotive technology. From used soap becomes an interesting pencil case. And also, there are so many products from my students. Maybe there are bolts, chains, and filters in the form of miniature Banjar culture, customs, and medicinal plant media. There was even a spring simulation. Their products spring simulation of the waist plate and motor shock, and then the project was made as attractive as possible and given in interesting name. And the project also can be used in another courses as learning media. And maybe I'll show you for the last. This is this is one of project in form of miniature Banjar culture. The name's product is lompat. Lompat is laung from steel plate and nut. And the real is laung. The name is in Banjar culture is laung with golden yellow arguchi decoration for the groom in Banjar bridal attire. And the model is my head of study program automotive technology. I think that's all the project for my students project. And for the next, this is the activity. Okay. The first, my students make a plan to develop their project with treating waste, and then they present their product, and also it reduces environmental pollution, and then it becomes enhancing its students' speaking interest and also speaking skill. And directly or evaluation or giving feedback is always needed. And for the next, their products have been also displayed, have ever displayed at campus fair, and in local government, so they are even more excited to make them, and also published in local news. And for the next, maybe having research using waste or trash directly to help students in enhancing their speaking skills and raises their desire in enhancing their speaking performance. And this enhancement has been sought by the achievement of the student speaking. The first, maybe the score of the speaking test has fulfilled the criteria for success. From the analysis result, it can be inferred that after the introduction of learning through the use of ways of trash, there is an improvement in students' ability to talk. And as we know that speaking is the most challenging skill in language learning. However, the choice of various techniques and activities can make it easier for students to learn. One technique then can support language learning, especially speaking. And speaking is the use of a ways or trace. This is the strategy or the media for enhancement or enhancing my students' speaking. For technically, students utilize waste or trash from materials around them, talk and explain the products they have made according to the work processes that have been conducted. And these activities were found encouraging when maybe wrapped in interesting activities and based on teacher specialization. And students demonstrate their enthusiasm and commitment in using this project. And therefore, they found this approach interesting, and it is therefore suggested that this technique can be one of the techniques to consider when teaching speaking in improving students' speaking skills. Okay, well, I think enough for my sharing. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I now hand over to the moderator, Pak Dwi.
Wow, thank you, Ibu Yuliana. It's a very amazing idea. I agree with Pak Kanif. I'm so sorry, Bu. I also laugh especially when I saw picture of the head of the department wearing the unique hat. Yes. It shows that everybody is happy. And yeah, and personally, I think that this kind of technique can also be used to raise the students' awareness towards the surrounding and also the local cultures.
Yes.
Wow, it's amazing, Bu. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Bapak Ibu, the participants of this Zoom meeting, once again, welcome to this third sharing session. And we have just listened to the first presenter. We still have 2 more presenters. And we are going to have the question and answer sessions after all of the presenters shared their best practices. Now, let us welcome the second presenters. The second presenters is Ibu Maria Asumta Deni. She's going to share her best practice about the students' attributions on English reading skills in aviation field. But before she shared her best practice, let me read her biography first. So, Ibu Maria Asumta Deni, SPD MHUM, she is usually called Ibu Deni, yeah, and she is now teaching in Institut Teknologi Dirgantara Adi Sucipto Yogyakarta as the language or English lecturer. She earned her bachelor degree from Universitas Sanata Dharma in English education study program, and after that she continued to get her master's degree from Universitas Sanata Dharma in English language study focus. Ibu Deni has got research experiences, and recently in 2020, she worked on ICT-based project in learning basic airplane components. she has also involved in various community services, and she has also become presenters in several conferences, both national and also international conferences. And she has also published journal articles. Yeah. And without any further ado, let me greet Bu Denny first, and we would like to welcome Bu Denny. Hello, Ibu Denny. Are you now ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Your voice is. Can you? Your voice is not really clear. Can you please
Okay.
again?
Pak Dwi,
Yeah.
can you hear my
Yeah,
voice?
it's now clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Ibu Denny, since you're ready, the screen is yours. You have 15 to 20 minutes to share.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dwi. I'm going to share my presentation. Oh. Okay, Pak Dwi, can you help me?
Yes, what can I help?
I cannot share my presentation because someone.
Oh yeah, someone has. Bapak or Ibu kuliah English, would you please stop sharing? Stop participant sharing. Okay. Now,
Okay.
Ibu Denny, can you please try to share your PowerPoint?
Yeah. Okay, Pak Dwi, can you watch my presentation?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, Pak Dwi, and good morning, Bapak Ibu. So it's honor for me to take part in this community. Great to see you all here in this community. My name is Maria Deni. I am from Institut Teknologi Dirgantara Adi Sucipto, Yogyakarta. So on this occasion, I would like to not present, but I would like to share and discuss with Bapak Ibu here. And also please give me the feedback related to my discussion later. Then my topic for this occasion, I would like to share about the students' attributions on English reading skills in aviation field. Yeah. So this study only focuses on one skill, which is reading skill for aviation field. The reason is that the participants for this study is the students of Aviation Institute who have an obligation to read English aviation text in most of their modules. And the second one is that I got the theory from Carroll, 1989. That among the 4 skills in the second language, reading is the most important skills of all. So this is the reasons why I take only reading skills in this study. And although reading is said to be the most important skills among the skills, in my opinion, it's not easy to achieve the reading comprehension because it happens in my students in the study setting from my participants here that most participants are not really excited when they have to read the English textbook, even they have to read the English textbook in aviation. Then as a matter of fact, actually it's like a compulsory for the students, for the participants here to join an add-on English course every day. So it's a compulsory activity for my students. And then although some activity have been done to improve their English ability, such as they have to get the drilling, vocabulary drilling, and then they have to present something in front of their student, in front of their friends. And then we also have some of the listening activities, but some of the students still find the difficulties in the 4 skills, including for the reading skill here. The next one, actually, it's no doubt for my students in aeronautics students that they will have the sufficient knowledge in aviation because most of the students in the aviation department here are from the aviation vocational high school. But the problem happens when they have lack of knowledge to apply the subject matter in English. They have to read the material in English, and then they have to communicate with their friends and also the lecturer in English. Then it's not easy to build the students' confidence in applying their English skills. And the fact is that the students are required to understand the content of the text well, because they will be the professional engineers in the future and related to the aircraft safety. So the research question for this study is that what are students' attributions for the improvement of their English reading skill in aviation field? So actually, what is an attribution? So attribution is related to the explanation, related to the reasons that people provide for progress, achievement, and even the failure towards something that they have experienced. So this is my participants in this study. The participants are from the students in Aeronautics Engineering Department in Institut Teknologi Dirgantara Adi Sucipto, Yogyakarta. And then to get the data, I've done three activities here. The first one is survey, open-ended questionnaire, and interview. So 3 of them were conducted to get the data. Okay, the method for open-ended questionnaire. The open-ended questionnaire here was distributed to the participants during the class time. Then the students were allowed to answer the questions from the questionnaire here in Indonesian language to make it clearer. Then the participants or the students also were allowed to answer the questionnaire here in Indonesian language. So there are 4 questions in the questionnaire. The first, apakah ada perbedaan membaca teks umum dengan membaca teks dalam lingkup aviasi seperti task card dan manual book? So the focus for the reading for aviation here is task card and manual book. But first, let me explain a little bit explanation about the task card and manual book. Jadi Bapak Ibu, ketika kita di dunia aviation, so in the aviation field, then we are going to have task card and manual book atau buku manual. Jadi buku manual ini itu sebagai induknya ketika engineer itu akan melakukan sesuatu. Jadi ketika kita akan melakukan sesuatu di airplane atau di aircraft, panduan kita atau buku induk kita itu adalah manual book yang berisi tentang standar practice. Nah, dari sini, dari manual book ini, itu akan dibuat task card. Jadi, for example, if the engineers will do the remove hydraulic system, they will do removal in hydraulic system and install the hydraulic system. So the engineers will do the task card, sorry, the engineers will do the task and the procedures will be written in the task card. So task card in manual books are related. And then the second question, jika ada pertanyaan, jika ada perbedaan, coba ceritakan apa perbedaannya. Perbedaan antara ketika membaca teks umum dan membaca teks dalam lingkup aviasi seperti task card dan manual book. Lalu pertanyaan yang ketiga, ketika saya bisa memahami bacaan, task card, dan manual book dengan baik, beberapa faktor yang mempengaruhi adalah pertanyaan yang keempat, ketika saya tidak bisa memahami bacaan, dalam lingkup ini masih task card dan manual book dengan baik, beberapa faktor yang mempengaruhi adalah, jadi, so the context here is related to the task card and manual book. The next one, the next method is interview. So the interview here was conducted to the 3 participants who were chosen based on their varied answers. Not all of the participants will be interviewed. Then we come to the finding of this study. There are two findings. The first one is the attributions for doing well. So the interest here was the major category, which was frequently mentioned by the participants, 22 numbers among 69 participants. This is the example of the interest category mentioned by the participants, such as they like the field of aviation, they like English, they enjoy reading, and they wanted to learn. One of the participants write in the questionnaire such as, saya sangat suka dengan dunia aviasi, keingintahuan saya sangat besar, sehingga saya tertarik belajar hal baru, salah satunya dengan membaca bacaan tentang aviasi dan buku aviasi, hampir semua dalam bahasa Inggris. And it also supports in the result for the interview by one of the participants. Saya berasal dari keluarga yang bekerja di dunia penerbangan. Papa saya seorang teknisi pesawat, dan sejak kecil papa sering cerita tentang pesawat. Mungkin itu salah satu yang menumbuhkan ketertarikan saya dengan dunia aviasi. Lalu SMK penerbangan dan bangku kuliah dengan jurusan penerbangan merupakan pilihan saya karena saya sudah suka dari kecil. Padahal papa tidak pernah memaksa saya terjun di dunia aviasi. So these statements are the example from the questionnaire and the interview result. The second finding is from the attribution for not doing well. And the ability was the major category, which was mentioned by the participants. So the reasons why ability was the major attribution for not doing well, the participants felt that their failure were because of their lack of ability both in English and aviation, not only in English, but also in aviation. They say that they had poor ability to memorize vocabulary, to know the aviation term, because the aviation term and the English term, sometimes it will be different, and to understand the materials and not to know the tools. Saya susah menghafal kata-kata dalam bahasa Inggris, apalagi konteksnya penerbangan. Tambah bingung. And one of the statement in the interview result, one of the participants said, kesulitan saya double, kemampuan bahasa Inggris lemah, saya bukan sekolah dari SMK penerbangan, jadi banyak hal baru yang harus dipelajari. Ditambah semua bacaan dalam bahasa Inggris, loadingnya lama karena harus mikir 2 kali. Okay, so to sum up with the finding of the current study, we can say that the study could serve as a starting point to suggest some pedagogical implication. First, as a teacher, the teacher should not merely focus on transferring knowledge, but also we have to maintain the positive relationship between the lecturers and the students. The second side is from the students. So the students themselves need to be encouraged to keep the developing for a proper learning strategy for their English reading so that they can improve not only in their English reading ability, but also they can improve for the other skills. And then the study hopefully could contribute to the development of the teaching and learning process in English reading classroom. Okay, well, thank you for your kind attention, Bapak and Ibu. Thank you, Pak Dwi.
Wow, thank you, Ibu Deni, for a nice sharing anyway. And Ibu Deni never failed to amaze me. Yeah, we both were learning in the same faculty, in the same batch, yeah, in Sanata Dharma. Well, Ibu Deni has shared about raising students' attribution in English reading skills in aviation field, and she said that it is important to maintain good relationship between the teacher and also the students. Yeah, so it's not only touch the brain, but we need to also touch the soul of our students as well. And it's also important to encourage our students. Well, thank you, Ibu Deni, once again for your sharing. Well, Bapak Ibu, in the first presenter, Ibu Yuliana has shared about basic student speaking skills, and the second presenter, Ibu Deni, has shared how to deal with teaching reading, and in the third sharing, Ibu Jatuh would like to complete the sharing in talking about reading and also writing skills. So we have quite various topics in this meeting. Yeah, we have speaking. Ibu Jatuh would like to talk about reading and also writing. All right, Ibu Jatuh would like to share her best practice entitled scaffolding learning in reading. Put my microphone. Yeah. Ibu Jatuh would like to share her best practice entitled scaffolding learning in reading and writing skills in English for mechanical engineering. But before Ibu Jatuh share her best practice, let me read her profile first. So Ibu Anggara Jatuh Kusumawati, she is an English lecturer teaching in Universitas Islam Indonesia, Yogyakarta. And in recent years, she concerned on her concerns on dealing with maximizing students' learning outcome. Yeah, and she earned her bachelor degree from Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, majoring in linguistics. And she earned her master's degree from Universitas Gadjah Mada, focusing on linguistics department. And currently, she is learning in the University of Sydney to pursue her doctoral degree. Yeah, and we can also learn from Ibu Jatuh because she has won several awards as the best presentation in the third International Conference on Information and Education Innovations in London, United Kingdom, indexed by Scopus. And also she has got an award as the best presentation in ICETT 2019 proceedings of the 2019 Fifth International Conference on Education and Training Technologies in Seoul, South Korea, also indexed by Scopus. Wow, it's a very amazing experience and also achievement, Ibu Jatuh. Well, Ibu Jatuh, before you share your best practice, are you now ready?
Yeah, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, it's very clear, Ibu Jatuh.
Yeah,
now you have 15 to 20 minutes to share your best practice. The screen is yours.
All right, I will try to share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, Bu, it's clear.
Okay, that's great. Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Bapak and Ibu. It is a happy time for me to be here to share my my experience in teaching in mechanical engineering in my institution. As Pak Dwi already introduced me, my name is Anggara Jatuh Kusumawati. I teach in Universitas Islam Indonesia. My sharing today is about scaffolding learning and reading and writing skills in English for mechanical engineering. As you know that actually it is already presented 3 years ago. I do hope that this is still relevant for all of you here because actually most of you here are ESP teachers or lecturers. Okay, so this is my documentation at that time. It was presented 3 years ago in London, and alhamdulillah, I just lucky to get this paper presentation award. And then yeah, because this Scopus index actually it was already published. So if you want to read further, then you can find the Google. Okay. Well, in this presentation, I will divide this presentation into some parts. The first one is the problems why I did the study, and then I will explain a bit about the learning model I applied in my classroom, that is scaffolding learning model. And after that, we will discuss about the result discussion and of course the conclusion. Yeah, the problems I found in my classroom, actually, most of my students are low level of that they have low level of English competence, and then we had limited sources, especially for the textbook, to support the learning process in the classroom. So that is why I tried to find a suitable learning process for a low level of English students. And then I took one of the theories that is called Vygotsky theory. Yeah, it is a scaffolding learning process. What is it? The main important thing is that the zone proximal development. So as a teacher or as a facilitator, we have to be able to guide our students to achieve something that is set previously in the classroom, something like what is the goal settings, then our students should be able to achieve that. And I think that this picture is quite clear for you. Actually, what our students have is over here. And then this is the goal setting that we set previously. As a teacher or a lecturer, we have to provide the guidance so that the students can achieve this goal setting. So I think that as a teacher or as a lecturer, it is a quite hardworking process. I think that most of you know how difficult it is if you have novice students in your classroom. Okay, so students basically have a foundational knowledge, yeah, and then this foundational knowledge here, I think that the things that the students can already do, and then we have to investigate the things that what kind of things that we can give to our students to help them to learn in the classroom to achieve the goal setting. And then the scaffolding process over here, I think that later I will tell you what are they. And at the end, the result of the scaffolding process, of course, we have to see that our students can do the activities that we expect them to do without the guidance from us. And here is the scaffolding learning process. It is about the degree of controls from the teacher or from the instructor. The first one is modeling. Modeling, it means that we demonstrate or explain the material that should be given to our students. So this is the transferring knowledge. And after that, the sharing part, it means that we invite our students to share their ideas about the materials has already given previously in the modeling process. And this one is the most important part, that is guiding. So the teacher provide activities to scaffold the students so that they can be able to do the things that we ask them to do. So it is impossible for us to, as a teacher, to give something complicated without any guidance, and then of course it will be failed in the first step. So that it should be step by step up to the end of the process, the students able to do the things that they have to do. And then in my classroom, actually, we have 3 skills learned in the classroom, but in my study, it was only 2 skills that were investigated. But I think that you will see some important information from my activity. So in the reading skills, I think that in mechanical engineering, the reading text should be based on the field of study, so that we have to give more steps before they are able to synthesize, before they are able to determine important from the text, especially in the field of study. So, the step is start from the easiest one, that is the literal activities. What are they? I think that this is quite common for us to teach skimming, scanning process. Am I right? Okay, and then the next level is the inferential activities, something like connecting, comparing, or predicting the meaning of the text given with something else that is related with their life or their surroundings. And the last or the highest part is the evaluative. So I think that this is similar with Bloom's taxonomy. It starts from the very easiest activity, and then it ends with the very complicated one that is trying to evaluate, trying to analyze something. Okay, that's for the reading strategy. And here are the activities. Yeah, of course, it starts from the modeling, as I told you before, the modeling process, sharing, guiding as the scaffold activities, and the last one will be applying. And for the writing, so in my class, for the writing skills, the goal setting here is that students should be able to write a well-structured essay. So that as a lecturer, when we see our students have a low level of confidence, so we have to guide them from zero to hero. That's my quotation. So we have to guide them from the pre-writing process. Yeah, we invite them to discuss about what certain topics that is quite related with their field of study, and after that we guide them to make the outline of the writing, revising, editing, and then up to the submitting process. So all of the process we should see the process from the beginning up to the end. Then here are the process of writing stages, from the modeling, sharing, guiding, and so on, almost similar for every skills. Then for the result, I think that the measurement over here quite complete enough. So I apply the pre-test first, and then for the progress assessment, something like a formative assessment. And at the end, this is a post-test. So pre-test and post-test are the same questions. And from the detail for the pre-test and post-test, I think that this is quite incredible, especially for the writing. Most of my students left the answer sheet blank because I asked them to write directly, spontaneously, write a certain paragraph. It just left the answer sheet blank, but at the end, they were able to create a well-structured essay, and then this is very impressive. And here is the detail. I think that this is not really important. For what I can conclude from the study over here, actually the scaffolding learning here is quite effective to improve the English skills, especially for reading and writing, because students, of course, they can able to summarize the text from the field of study, and then write an authentic writing through the mind mapping, paraphrasing, and all of the process that are given in the classroom. Then, of course, in the scaffolding learnings, we need more supportive tools. I think that we have to work. I really work hard to support my students, start from making a good LMS, Google Classroom. I just create as precise as possible the material, the assignments, the feedback. This is the reading activities, the writing, the stages from the easiest up to the submitting the final essay, and this is the speaking. I think that this is another skills that we learn in the classroom, but not discussed in my paper actually. But I will show you later the product of learning that quite amazing. And here are the worksheets that I give to my students. So when we instruct our students, don't forget to give some steps, because this is not a random assignment, so that our students will not really difficult to follow the process of learning. And of course, I provide videos because I think that these 2 years we are in online learning. This video actually similar with the topic that I give in the classroom. So instead of having Zoom session, they can access the video in the Google Classroom. So this is the example how I attach the material, and also I attach the worksheet in the Google Classroom. And of course, this is not only giving mark, I give them the feedback one by one. So that is called by the hardworking for me. Actually, when you have done this once, then you can recycle again to the other classroom with adjustment. So that's one of the benefits. And I think that this is a good thing for your students if you can customize module over here, because our institution in UAE, Universitas Islam Indonesia, we try to have one vision and mission that we have to try to integrate the science or the Islamic values in our learning process. So it depends on Bapak and Ibu's institution, what kind of vision and mission that you can give to your students. And then, yeah, this is one of the video project. I'm happy to witness my students' success. Yeah, of course, I give a feedback on my students and give a mark on this. And perhaps I will show you the video. I think worth enough to be seen, right? Okay, let me stop my share. How to stop sharing screen? Oh, okay, let me see. Just wait. I think there's no button to stop share. I don't know.
On the top.
On the top.
Let
Oh,
me-
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm too excited to explain, to show my students' work. Just wait. Please be patient. I share again. Yeah. Can you hear the voice? Maybe not, maybe yes.
No, Bu. No.
Okay, wait.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aufa Audi Prananda from Mechanical Engineering of the Indonesian Islamic University. My student number is 205156. Now I will explain my research about self-driving car. Self-driving car is a vehicle that is capable of sensing its environment and navigating without human input. Self-driving cars can detect surroundings using a variety of techniques such as radar, GPS, and computer vision. Experiments have been started on autonomous cars since 1920 and still
Yeah, I think that's enough. Okay, so that's all from me, Bapak and Ibu. I do hope that it will give you more insight in giving or in teaching English in non-English department. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, amazing. Ibu Jatuh, thank you so much for sharing your amazing work anyway. Yeah, I do agree that helping students is quite challenging, and you have provided a kind of scaffolding scheme or scaffolding method to help your students, including the book that you have written. Oh, amazing, Bu Jatuh. Thank you. Okay, Bapak Ibu, those three presenters have shared their best practices, and I'm so sorry. I think my voice was not audible after Ibu Deni shared her best practice. I just said that Ibu Deni never failed to amaze me, yeah, because she was my classmate. Yeah, we are learning in the same department, in the same year, in the same batch in Sanata Dharma University. Anyway, all right. We have got several questions in the chat column or chat box, and for your information, Bapak Ibu, you can ask questions directly to the participants by using the raise hand feature in Zoom. And I would like to just start reading the questions delivered to or given to Ibu Juliana. Yeah, I have several questions addressed to Ibu Juliana in here. The first question comes from Pak Kanif. Yeah, Pak Kanif asked, Ibu Juliana, how can you get the idea? Because he admired your idea and he thought that it's so amazing. And I would like to continue these questions with Pak Asep's first questions. Pak Asep from Indra Parsta Jakarta University asked, the question is, how long do you plan the PBL activities starting from planning to feedback? All right, Ibu Juliana. Would you please answer the questions?
Okay, Pak Dwi, thank you. Pak Hanif, thank you for admiring. Okay, yes, in the real field, Actually, this strategy can make it easier for them, for my students, to learn English, because for your information, that my students are from the region district, Lehari district, and so I try to start from the unique and funny so that they want to learn and apply to speak. There's so many strategies to make my, or to maybe to make my students have motivation and desire to speak in front of the class or in front of another people. And maybe I think it's my strategy to make them speak. And finally it can enhance their speaking interest and speaking motivation and also speaking skill. And I also previously had teaching experience in another city. And when the first I taught in Politala in 2013. When I taught in here in region, I have so many experience and get new experience. And for that, I had to break my brain to find a strategy to solve all of great problems. And I think it is out of the box for our field or our expert, yeah, Bapak Ibu. And I always try to make my students do based on our learning outcomes in my syllabus, or actually in my institution. Something like this, Pak Hanif.
Thank you, Bu Juliana.
Okay, for Pak Asep, maybe as I said earlier, this research is action research, and when I started learning in class, I had planned it when I delivered the lecture contract. Saat saya nyampaikan kontrak perkuliahan itu, I try to say the project-based learning when the learning process in the semester. And because my students would present this project on the material in the lecture contract. And the plan will continue starting from maybe addressing the problem around. There's so many threats and or ways from their study program, maybe from IT, there are so many keyboards and maybe accounting, there's so many paper journal over wherever in their environment, and also automotive. There are so many used components around their workshop, and then they are asked to make projects to be presented according to their abilities. And maybe another application I using Edmodo application to support the learning I discussed before by Google Meet, to share the technical project step by step when a pandemic. And for the last process, they submit also their video in YouTube, their presentation. Part of my students present in my class, maybe because of the pandemic, and another can submit their video in YouTube. And from Edmodo or also WhatsApp for consultation for making the project. So making the project, there are so many consultation from what the material of project and what is the interesting name from the project, and until they found the best project and interesting name from their project. I think that's all, Pak Asep. Pak Dwi,
All
for the
right.
next question.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Juliana, for the answers. Amazing. Before I read questions addressed to Ibu Juliana, I would like to move to Ibu Deni first because we have several also questions addressed to Ibu Deni, and then we would like to go back to Ibu. We would like to go to Ibu Jatu, and then we go back again to Ibu Juliana, yeah, just to make it more interesting. Anyway, now I would like to read questions addressed to Ibu Deni. Yeah, the questions was asked by Ibu Lulu Iswati. The question is, how do you usually motivate your students to increase their reading interest in aviation? Ibu Deni, would you please answer this question?
Okay, thank you Pak Dwi, thank you Mbak Lulu for the questions. Then actually, I'm still trying to find my best strategy to motivate my students in reading, how to motivate my students to read the English textbook. Usually, if I have task card or manual book material in my class, I will come the reading activity for the last activity. Then usually I deliver the topic first in my class, and then I ask some questions related to the topic to my students. And I also provide some video to be watched in the classroom. And after we have the discussion, after we have the question and answer, then we come to discuss the project. So by having the project, I deliver some of the project, I give the procedures of the project, and then we come to the reading task card or manual book. Because we know that task card and manual book, it will be really thick book. So I believe that it's hard for my students if I directly give them, please read the manual book from page 1 until page blah, blah, blah. So I give them the video, and then I give them some of the questions related to the topic we discuss first, and then the last part is reading activity. Then by having some of the projects, such as I give them the project to make the infographic in Canva, then they have to present the topic, for example, how to install the hydraulic system. They have to draw or they have to attach some pictures in the infographic Canva, and then they have to present to the students, to their friends, I mean. So actually, I still have an obstacle and challenging for me to get the best strategy to motivate my students in reading, Mbak Lulu.
Well, thank you, Ibu Deni, for sharing or for answering the questions again. All right, now I would like to read questions addressed to Ibu Jatu, yeah, asked by Ibu Lulu, and then I would like to continue Ibu Lulu's questions with Pak Daniel's questions, yeah. Ibu Lulu said that she can see that you are very committed teacher. It must be hard work to give detailed and precise feedback to each individual students. Not to mention that you handle large classes that come in parallel. So how do you maintain your focus and also commitment in doing so? Yeah, Ibu and Pak Daniel asked, it was a great sharing. Would you please share any tech tools that you use to help you embed this pedagogy of learning to your class? It was only LMS or Google Classroom that you use, and how did you provide formative assessment to your students? Ibu Jatu, would you please answer the questions?
Yeah, thank you, Pak Dwi. Yeah, from Ibu Lulu's questions, it is related with my commitment in giving feedback to all my students' assignment. So firstly, actually, when we give assignment to our students, it means that this is our responsibility to give a feedback, because it is I think this is a big mistake if you give assignment and you don't give anything, something like the feedback, whether the assignment is good or not, what is the constructive feedback for your students' assignment. So I usually prepare sometimes on my weekend to give a feedback. And then regarding giving feedback, of course, I prepare the rubrics previously, and then from that rubric, I can take the rubric as the template. So when I give my students, for example, a mark 90, it means I just copy the information from that mark. So just copy and paste. And then if there is something specific, then I just give certain comments on that. So it seems that this is not really time consuming when you are ready with the rubric. And then, is that all Pak Dwi from Ibu Lulu? I think that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's all, right? Yeah, okay, thank you.
And okay, we would like to go back to Pak Daniel's questions after this. Yeah, okay. I would like to go back to Ibu Yuliana again. Bu Yuliana,
Yes.
there are questions addressed to you. There is a question addressed to you given by or asked by Pak Hilman B. Yeah, Ibu Yuliana, while you are teaching to your students, did you make your own module to teach ESP? If it is possible, you share when you arrange that module.
Okay, Pak Dwi.
And yeah, and I think
Hilman?
this
Okay.
the second question is quite related, Ibu. Yeah, the second question is from Ibu Nurti. Yeah, she was wondering if the project is the part of your ESP syllabus. If yes, how is the scoring rubric?
Okay.
That's the questions from Ibu Nurti from Trisakti Schools of Tourism. Thank you, Bu Yuliana.
Okay, Pak Dwi. For the first question, Pak Hilman. I'm looking for the book. Actually, I created my module for teaching ESP, Pak Hilman, and I get it. Something like this. Is it visible, Bapak Ibu? This is my first module. Maybe it can be used in my learning process in Politala. This is my first book, Speak Up, and for the next, it is for specific purpose, English for communication or English for business, get along with business English. And I also created a module for teaching ESP, Pak Hilman, and I have used with my team, and every year there was always an evaluation based on experience in the field for our own module, our own book in the field, and there is a feedback from stakeholders in industry. We maybe revise or make a new module based on the feedback or based on new experience and something like this. Maybe Pak Ilman. I always use my own module and another book from online book or hard book about ESP especially. Okay, Pak Hilman, I think that's all. For the next question from Ibu Nurti ya.
Yes, Bu.
The project used in my syllabus actually, as I said earlier, yeah. At the first from contract, I said earlier the sum of syllabus when we learn about when in semester. And for the project, the topic is about giving instruction. So the first, when I share the contract, I convey how to make the project and when they should present the project to the topic giving instruction. And for the scoring rubric, I use the speaking assessments conducted in test, and I think there's no rubric for project. Yeah, it is just for speaking testnya or speaking skill. An aspects of speaking skill that assess value were the first vocabulary, grammar, fluency and pronouncing. And for the next, maybe I also show the aspect from their performance. And this is I got the criteria scale from 1 until 20. It is based on Maulani 213. I think that's all, Ibu Nurti. Hopefully you get my answer. Pak Dwi, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you, Bu Juliana. So that's the part of the syllabus, yeah, Bu. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for answering Pak Hilman's and also Ibu Nurti's questions. Now, I would like to read a question addressed to Ibu Deni. Yeah, the question is from Ibu Bonifacia Ekta. Yeah, Ibu Deni, I'd like to know whether the engineers learn or have some specific vocabulary related to aviations before they read the manual or textbooks or do the task cards. Ibu Deni, would you please answer?
Yeah, so actually we have the aviation dictionary. So the aviation dictionary here is to help the students to know some terms related to the aviation, English term related to the aviation. Some terms such as nose, if in the general English, nose means hidung, but we have the different meaning nose for the aviation field. So it's better for the students to to get the knowledge and to memorize some of the vocabulary in aviation first. Then they will have the better knowledge when they read the task card and manual book. So we have 3 semesters for Bahasa Indonesia in Adi Sucipto. For the first and the second semester, the focus is for the vocabulary building. And then for the third semester, they have to read the task card and also the manual book, and later they can write the report in English, such as they make the task card and then they make some of the report related to the engineering. Ibu Bonifacia, can I answer my question?
Yes,
okay.
Maybe someday I will show about the dictionary. Is it made by yourself or have already the institutions have already have it? I mean,
Ibu, maaf, I cannot hear your voice clearly.
Okay, maybe I will write down in chat.
Okay. Thank you, Ibu.
Thank you, Ibu Deni, for answering Ibu Ekta's question. All right. Now we would like to move to Ibu Jatuh. Yeah, Ibu Jatuh, there is one question delivered by Pak Daniel. Yeah, Pak Daniel said that it was a great sharing. Would you please share any technology tools that you use to help you embed this to your class, or was it only LMS or Google Classroom that you used? And how did you provide formative assessment to your students? And Ibu Palupi responded Pak Daniel's questions. Yeah, she agreed with Pak Daniel's statement statement. And Ibu Palupi asked, would you mind sharing your YouTube channel here in this occasion? Ibu Jatuh.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Dwi. Well, actually, for the question from Pak Daniel, the question is that what is the platform I used in my classroom? The main platform will be Google Classroom because that's the free access for our institution, the Google Sheet. So I just use the things that are provided by my university because it is free. Then the other thing is that sometimes I use interactive quiz, something like Kahoot quizzes, or maybe Padlet. Padlet is also free in our institution. So sometimes during the learning process, I ask them to do a quiz, or I ask them to do some instructions. Then from the result, then I give a feedback on that activity. I think that this is a kind of formative assessment before they have a summative assessment at the end. And then What else? Yeah, I think that's all. I do hope that it answers the question. Thank you.
Okay, would you mind share your YouTube channel here? Ibu Jatuh.
Actually, this is unlisted videos, but
Ah,
especially for my students, but I will share it to you. But pardon me, my videos actually created 2 years ago when the pandemic is not yet started. So it means that my video is still, what is it, not really good compared to the videos right now. I think that the technology is progressing a lot. Okay, so I think I can share it to you
thank you so
on the
much.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Ibu Jatuh. And I really agree with Ibu Lulu's opinion that you're a very committed teacher. Yeah, even before the pandemic, you have made this kind of channel. Wow. Thank you, Bu Jatuh, for the inspirations. Well, we have several questions. I think this is quite, the questions are quite related anyway. Yeah. Some persons or some participants ask, how do we develop syllabus in ESP? And also that's the question is written by Pak Didi and Bapak or Ibu Yuwin also also asked how to develop reading materials for pendidikan agama Islam. So I think it's related to syllabus development and also materials development. Ibu Yuliana, Ibu Deni, or Ibu Jatuh, do you mind to share anyway? How to develop?
Can I?
Okay,
Yeah,
Jatuh
please.
first.
Yeah, please, Bu Jatuh.
Well, actually, in my university, they have already created the syllabus. I mean, that the basic syllabus for English in non-English departments, and then we, as a teacher from different departments, should create the, what is it called, the RPS, Rencana Pembelajaran Satu Semester. And then I think that it depends on the needs in the classroom. So, for example, in my department, mechanical engineering, it means that I have to provide tasks, I have to provide activities that are suitable with my students. So I think that it is the responsibility for the teacher. I think the teacher is the one who knows best his or her students. So that's the way we develop the RPS or the activities in the classroom.
Thank you, Bu Jatuh. So it's based on the analysis or the needs analysis or the needs of the students themselves. Yeah, Ibu Deni or Ibu Juliana, maybe you would like to add?
Okay, I want to add for Bu Jatuh. So I have the same experience with Bu Jatuh when we make the syllabus. Then I have to consult with the department. Then we have the need analysis first, and then it depends on the student's future job. So the syllabus will be related with the student's future job and also related with the other subjects. I mean with the other non-English subjects. So it will be support the other subjects. Thank you, Pak Dwi.
Thank you, Bu Deni. Ibu Juliana, do you want to add something?
Okay, Pak.
Yeah.
I think maybe same with Bu Jatuh and Bu Maria, yeah. Based on, it can maybe make it based on need analysis the first from the students, and after this maybe we or it can be consult with the institution, what is the need from the institution and the need from the students. And also I think it's some of the institution different, yeah. Maybe same with me when I teach in another institution, something like this. And when I teach in Politala, I have a different need analysis, different need for my students. I think it can be applied based on need analysis and what the maybe what it can be support to the institution. Maybe I think that's all, Pak Dwi.
Well,
Based
thank
on
you.
my experience, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're sharing our experience anyway. Thank you, Ibu Jatuh, Ibu Deni, and also Ibu Juliana. If I may add, if I can conclude, so it's based on the collaboration, yeah, collaboration with the students, collaborations with the stakeholders or the institutions, and also if I may add, it depends on the situations. Like here, we are we are having emergency remote teaching, so our syllabus and also teaching materials should be adjusted based on the situations and also the students' needs and the institution's needs or the goals as well. Thank you again. And Ibu Deni, Ibu Ekta here wrote down her follow-up questions. Yeah. Is the aviation dictionary compiled by yourself and the team, or is it already available?
No, it's not my team. It's also not from my institution, but we have the aviation dictionary from the David Crocker. So we have the aviation dictionary like English Indonesian dictionary. Then we can use it for the universal dictionary for aviation.
I see. Thank you, Bu Deni. Yeah, and I think Ibu Sandra Sembel's questions in here is also quite related with the last questions. Yeah, asking about the syllabus and also the materials development in here. Yeah, to all presenters, thank you for sharing your wonderful ideas. Yeah, Bu Sandra has questions. The question is, how do you choose authentic reading materials that fit the level of competence of your students? I think it's reading materials. Yeah, Bu Deni or Ibu Jatuh perhaps can help, or Ibu Juliana, maybe you may add later. Ibu Deni or Ibu Jatuh?
Okay, maybe I will be first. For the reading material, I took the book from, I think this is imported books. I just take some of them, and after that, for the activity and then for the question, I just try to adjust with my students' condition, because some of the activity from the imported books are not really suitable regarding the level of competence. So that's one of the way to provide the reading materials for the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Jatuh. Ibu Deni, perhaps you may add.
Yeah. In my institution, for my first and the second semester, I cannot choose the level for the reading text because, I can choose the level of the reading text. Then usually I get the textbook for the aviation is for career path. So we have some of the reading text from the career path, but for the third semester, I cannot choose the level of the text because for the third semester, then the material is only task card and manual book. Thank you, Pak Dwi.
Wonderful. Thank you for answering Ibu Sandra's questions. Ibu Juliana, do you have anything to add?
Yes, just forwarding
Okay.
ya, Pak.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it can be used based on level of skills of students and also level for the reading text. Level ya, we can differentiate for the level because we don't know the level of students and level of text. We maybe we can use based on the level. Okay, I think, Pak Dwi.
Okay, thank you. And in here, Bu Sandra would like to clarify that it's about authentic reading materials, the authentic one. Okay, perhaps do you want to share do you want to share your strategies in choosing the authentic reading materials, the authentic one, not the textbook? Do you have any considerations or strategies to select or to choose authentic reading materials? Ibu Maria, Ibu Deni, Ibu Jatuh, perhaps?
Maybe Ibu Dato and Bu Maria are the expert than me.
Yeah, the authentic one.
Well, basically, I never write down the text for myself because basically, mechanical engineering is not my background of study. Usually, the departments propose some textbooks or maybe propose some journals, articles that should be given in the classroom, and then I invite them. I invite the students to have some activity, some reading comprehension that is supposed to be learned in the classroom. So it depends on the context and situation. Go back to that issue again. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bu Jatuh. What about you, Ibu Denny? How do you select or choose the authentic reading materials?
Okay. My field is English education, and my field is not aviation engineering, so I'm not capable to write the aviation text. When I have to, give the text for my students in aviation, just select some of the journals like Bu Jatuh applied in her classroom, and then, or I can select from the text from the aviation field, because some of the aviation field textbook are in English. So it will be really easy for us to find some of the text from the aviation field.
Thank you for answering Ibu Sandra's questions again. Yeah. So again, depends on the context, depends on the needs of the students and also the institutions. Well, here we still have time. Yeah, Pak Subandrio asked, we don't find any ESP textbook for SMK majors, such as automotive engineering, motorcycle engineering, hotel, and also tourism, etc. Does anyone know if textbook available somewhere? Yeah, perhaps Bapak Ibu, not only the presenters, not only Ibu Jatuh, Ibu Juliana, and Ibu Denny in here, if you find suggestions for Pak Subandrio about ESP textbook from SMK, ya SMK, sekolah menengah kejuruan ya Pak ya. You may type or you may write down your suggestions in a chat box. Ya.
Hello, Pak Subrandrio.
Okay, Bu Palupi, please.
Okay, Pak Subrandrio, I'm a lecturer from STIPRAM. This is a institution for, what is it, like a tourism student. So my ESP here is special for tourism. I mean English for tourism. So I have one book that can be used to teach students about tourism and hotelier, but this is intermediate level, so maybe you can adjust it, or maybe you can take the language focus only, and then you can develop the material or the vocabulary or the reading practice based on our students' ability, yeah, or our students' level. So after this, maybe I will share the book in our WhatsApp group. Thank you.
Anyone has other information on the SMK? Because we have so many majors in SMK and none of them have any ESP textbook. So they're learning the same thing, and which is you know, it is not good for our students. So we need some help. My team is developing for automotive engineering, but you know, because we are not expert in curriculum development, we are struggling. So if you can offer any help, will be very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Subandrio, for the questions, and thank you, Ibu Palupi, for your answer as well. And Bapak Ibu, it's a kind of a call for us. Maybe we can collaborate with teachers in senior high school or even in vocational high school, yeah, to develop a kind of textbook or teaching materials to facilitate the students' learning. Yeah, maybe it's a kind of a good start for us to collaborate. So it's a kind of calling. If you find some suggestions for Pak Subandrio and friends in SMK, yeah, vocational high school, maybe you can type the suggestions in the textbook. And I've just got that. I just opened my Instagram, Bapak Ibu, and if you have Instagram account, you can follow a channel called English textbook. Hopefully it's readable. Yeah, English ebook. Sorry, it's provided in Instagram, and the members there usually share the ebooks, including the last one is ESP. Yeah, ESP, English for specific purposes, the career path English. So it's a very good resource to access the textbook or any reading materials, including research papers and also ebook on research methodology. Well, thank you, Bapak Ibu, the participants, and also the wonderful presenters. And here I can only have one questions left. Yeah, we still have around 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Question is from Pak Didi. Yeah. Dear presenters, thank you so much for answering questions. It's a great webinar. Yeah. How to join the ESP community here? Yeah. And I think Ibu Lulu has shared a link. Yeah. WhatsApp group link there. Yeah. In our chat box. You may join our WhatsApp group and then you can share together with us about your experience. And I think this is a kind of monthly webinar. This is the third webinar on ESP, yeah, best practices sharing. I think it's quite good to join us in WhatsApp group and also in a webinar, yeah, in a monthly webinar. Maybe the first start is the first start that you can do is to join our WhatsApp group. A lot of information shared in our WhatsApp group there. All right. Or Ibu Lulu is the head of the community. Ibu Lulu, do you want to add something regarding the community?
Dwi, can I add something?
Oh yes, please, Bu Jatuh.
Yeah, regarding to Pak Subandrio's question about the resources, actually I have access, library access in my university, Sydney Uni. So I think that you can write down the certain topics that you are going to give in the classroom. Then I can try to find access on my library. I think the library is full of resources. I'm sure that I can find something for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Jatuh, for the hand to help us in here. Maybe some of us, find difficulty to access journal articles or textbook even. Yeah. Okay, Ibu Lulu has no additional info. Yeah, once again, Bapak Ibu, if you're interested to join us in a WhatsApp group, you're invited to join. Yeah, Ibu Lulu has shared the link in our chat box or chat columns. And Pak Subandrio, yeah, thank you, Ibu Juliana. That's English e-books. That is not in Instagram. That is in Telegram. Yeah, Telegram with blue symbols, I think. Yeah, not Instagram, but Telegram. Telegram. All right. We still have several minutes, Bapak Ibu. If you would like to ask questions, you may use the raise hand feature. Yeah, if there is no more questions, okay, Pak Subandrio again, please.
Ibu Jatuh. So thank you for giving us some help on this ESP modules for SMK and your university resources. Well, you're telling us about that you have quite a bit of resources in your library. Should we do it remotely, online? Should we come to your university? I'm in Jakarta, but I have a team, teachers in Yogyakarta. I'm part of the Ma'arif English Teachers Association. And we want to help our students, Ibu. There are hundreds of thousands of students who are learning a different English. I mean, you know, and it seems like nobody cares. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. You know, they have not been learning proper English for 100 years. And we need to change. The ESP community have to change this. I mean, it's too bad. I'm retired, but I'm just tired to see how our education is going so bad. Sorry.
Yeah, Bapak Subandra, I mean, actually, I'm still in Indonesia doing my study online. So what I mean here is that you can propose a certain title or certain topics, and I can access to my university library. Then I can download it for you and then give it to you. I mean, like you can arrange any Zoom meeting or something. You have to discuss about this. Then we can find the reference together. That's what I offer to you. So basically, I just help to find the books or the journals that you need.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Bu Jatuh, for the help again. So basically, Bu Jatuh has got a kind of privilege to access or to privilege to have a free access for any journal articles that perhaps we in Indonesia cannot access it. Yeah, because the university has subscribed the access or have the kind of privilege to access the journal's article. All right, if there is no more questions, Bapak Ibu, I'm so glad to be the moderator in this third sharing sessions. And since the time is now almost up, I would like to give the floor or also the screen to Ibu Yasinta to lead the next agenda. And I'm so sorry if I made a lot of mistake or any mistakes that might be make you inconvenient. And again, I thank you, Ibu Jatu, Ibu Yuliana, and also Ibu Maria Deni for sharing your best practices. Thank you. Ibu Yasinta, the screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pak Dwi, and also the presenters, Bu Yuliana, Bu Deni, and also Bu Jatu for the presentations. It was very inspiring and wonderful. So this is, we have closing to the last session of our event. The next agenda will be photo session before we close this event. So can you turn on the camera? So in my computer here, there are 2 pages, yeah, page 1 and page 2. So maybe I will screenshot each page, yeah. How many times should I do screenshot? Once or twice? Okay, yeah, so let me do screenshot. Yeah, you can use your, you can show your best expression. So 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you. I will send it to the WhatsApp group of our ESP. Sorry, I have a problem with my laptop here. I think it's, I have a problem with my laptop to copy the share screen. Maybe I just, wait, okay. Okay, the second one, the second slide. Okay, so I will take the screenshot once more. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so thank you very much for your participation, and it's really nice to see you all. The participants of the third ESP sharing session. So I hope we can meet again in the next sharing session. Yeah, this is the third. So maybe for you who has just joined for the first time, I hope that you can join again with the different presenters, with the different material that the presenter sharing, and I'm sure that all of the materials that the presenter sharing very beneficial for us. Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last session of this event is closing. So thank you very much for your participation. That's all for today, and I would like to apologize for the mistake I made. Let us close the third best practice ESP sharing session, and I'll see you again in the next session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Bu
Thank
Yasinta.
you. Thank you, Bapak Ibu semuanya.
Dadah.
Goodbye, Pak An.
Bapak Ibu izin live ya Bapak Ibu.
Ya, mohon maaf saya juga ada acara yang lain. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Okay, see you next month ya.
Yes. See you next month.
Thank you Pak Hanif as well.
For the next presenter.
Yeah.
Kak Susi, thank you for your
Pak
attending.
You're welcome all.
Thank you very much for the facilitate.
Pak Hanif, thank you so much. You are very helpful.
I have recorded on my YouTube and I would like to share the link.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hanif.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.